I have no idea how I'm going to start this. Hey, hi. So today, I didn't really feel like playing Yakuza or Dark Souls or any other new game. So I decided, hey, I've been in the mood to talk about certain stuff and other things, and something recently just popped up. Something about certain characters in One Piece, and I'm currently right now doing a D&D / role playing. You should watch, you should like, you should watch, and like again. Judging by the title of the video, you already know what this is about to be. It's going to be a brand new series called
The Fat Man Flies at Midnight.
What does that mean?
Today we're going to be talking about Yamato, but I'm not going to be, deep diving and telling you everything about Yamato. I just want to talk about mainly two big things that are somewhat arguments within the One Piece community. How strong is Yamato, and what does she identify as? So yeah, I'm gonna start with the gender one because that seems like it's gonna get me in the most of trouble. So right now, I haven't looked this up myself, but just been told by through the grapevine and the social media, and apparently there's a whole issue of how Yamato, like, what does she see herself as, or like what are her pronouns and such, judging by not the last chapter, what was it, like 1043 or what? I don't know what chapter we're on. Let me see. 1053. So I was like 10 chapters off. But anyways, but going off of the chapter of 1052, a lot of people have been talking about how she or he, or however you see her as, was still kind of like on that Kozuki Oden thing. I felt like, from YouTubers that I've watched that talk about One Piece, some YouTubers actually thought that once everything was settled in Wano, she would revert back to being Yamato or something like that. And they thought it was like a, I guess an identity thing, or maybe it was the, the reincarnation of Yamato, or not Yamato, my bad, reincarnation of Odin, or like what she actually said in the manga. So I'm carrying Kozuki Odin's will, which it sparked a lot of theories within the One Piece community, especially when it was actually, I think it was really pretty close to the whole thing of swords being able to carry people's wills and stuff like that, and the personality of swords and how that worked. We got to see the smith, don't tell me what his name is, I don't know. I just know that Zoro met him and that was it, and he made all these great swords. He's probably dead now, but I think it actually does say he's dead, but like I have my doubts because of certain things that have happened in a chapter recently. But anyways, so pretty much I'm just gonna tell you what I think, what my opinion is, whether if this is like an LGBTQ, I missed a letter, whether if it's that sort of thing, whether if it's like a reincarnation, or like a I'm carrying this person's will type of thing, or whatever. I'm just gonna tell you what my opinion was from day one and what it is now. So, not gonna lie, I don't really know what it was day one. If anything, I just thought what Yamato specifically said. What did she say? It's like I'm after reading, or from what we saw and what she said, it just sounded like to me, oh, after reading this book, I admired Kozuki Oden so much that I essentially I decided to carry on his will. And she decided, I'm going to become Kozuki Oden. So that's essentially what she tried to do. Though, of course, I had my doubts, but I didn't question them at the time. And then later in the story, especially when it started to balance between like, okay, well, what does she see her, like, what does she see, like, what her gender is, like, what does she see herself as? Good God, what does she see herself as? What does she see her gender? Motherfucker, what does she see herself as? What does she see her gender is supposed to be? And that sentence is clapped. Oh my God. Is it I'm Kozuki Oden, but I'm still a female, or is it I'm Kozuki Oden, I am a man? And a lot of times, I'm not going to say whether if it was implied or whatever, because I haven't done my research on this. I'm just going off of memory. So again, my memory could be whack, or it could just be putting shit in, headcanon type of shit. But anyways, from what I can remember, it did seem like within the middle of the climax, especially like when Yamato went up and fought Kaido to give Luffy more time. It felt like she saw herself as like a man, as Kozuki Oden. Though I don't really think she's actually said, I am a man. She might have said it, but that is kind of besides the point. That, and I feel like the way she said it was kind of, it wasn't straight on like that. It was kind of, it was kind of just mixing as, oh, I'm Kozuki, I am that man, Kozuki Oden. Like, she had to mix a Kozuki Oden thing in there, By the end, especially like after getting the bathhouse scene, where she was seen in the bathhouse with all the men. You got Sanji going, oh, and you got Brooke going, oh my God, and it's just it was funny to me, but it was also like, okay, internet's gonna go wild off of this. Although I never looked it up, I got this information from a friend. Apparently, off of that scene alone, people are like, oh yeah, this is 100% set in stone. Kozuki Oden's pronouns is man, she's a man, and after seeing all this and still not getting the line from Yamato herself saying I am a man, I personally believe she still sees herself as a woman. Or not necessarily sees herself as a woman, but she knows, like, for a fact, she is a woman. It's a really, really weird topic, but I guess I should start over from what I personally think, just to clarify. It's like, oh, the LGBT community or whoever is thinking this, you're wrong, So pretty much, this is after seeing all this is pretty much what my aesthetic or my opinion of this situation is. So the whole persona, or what whatever her alias or what she self-proclaimed to be, Kozuki Oden, that is not her, her will changing. And I say this because it would take a lot more for someone's will to change and morph into someone else's, which I don't even like. Oda's never really came into I guess a topic like this before. This is mostly headcanon in my head, but I feel like it would take a lot more to change someone's will like that. And even if you do, whatever you like, it doesn't matter what you do to your will, it will never perfectly mirror whoever you're trying to, mimic. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing I wanted to say is this whole thing that I think that Yamato is doing isn't necessarily her, being, whether if it's a reincarnation or just I don't know. I think it's more of like she was a fan. She read the book, The Diary of Kozuki Oden, and she became a die-hearted fan to the point where she became obsessed. Like I'm gonna use this kind of like Michael Jackson fans. We have a lot of Michael Jackson fans, but when Michael Jackson died, and a lot of people saw this, they watched the funeral on television. I think it was live on television, had to be. And people it was a sad thing. It was a sad moment in life. But again, Yamato also actually saw Kozuki Oden die. I don't remember on whether or not if she was already obsessed with Oden at that time or not, but that is probably definitely where it sparked, like, oh, I need to know this person more. This person, after this execution, I got to see what this person is all about. And she ended up finding the diary. I think that's how it went. And from then on and there, she ended up becoming a fan, and from being a fan, she became an obsessed fan. And just like the Michael Jackson obsessed fans, they become so obsessed, especially when after Michael Jackson died, they decided, oh, I'm going to carry on this person's work, this person's persona, and I'm going to become him. I'm going to become the next Michael Jackson. There was even a moment in time when they were literally trying to, and they do this with multiple artists as well, but Michael Jackson is probably one of the biggest artists where it was very, very impactful. You got to see multiple personas of Michael Jackson. People would dress up, get really serious with Michael Jackson. There's actually a YouTuber that I remember I watch. I'm still subscribed to him, actually. He took on the persona of Michael Jackson, but he twisted it in his own way. I mean, he became Michael Trapson or something like that. And he makes his own. He remixes not all of the songs, but majority of Michael Jackson's most popular songs. And he does a bunch of live streams and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. But my point is that's essentially what Yamato is doing now. This does kind of get in the way of things, of her not being a samurai, like wielding a sword and stuff like that. But that, I feel like that is mostly because she's Kaido's, I'm going to say son, because that's just the respected thing to do. Whether if it's the LGBTQ situation or this situation, it's respect. Even as that's Kaido's son. Like that's supposed to be. There's no samurai that will probably teach her at all. Mostly because A, she's a woman, and B, she's Kaido's son or daughter. A lot of people would see that as. So where is she going to learn the art of the sword? She's not going to learn it from King. She's not going to learn it from Queen, Jack, so on and so forth. None of these characters, there is not one samurai on Kaido's team except for the one of the 7 scabbards. I can't remember his name. Put the fucking picture on the screen. That guy. There's no one else but that guy that would probably actually teach her. But the thing is, he's too busy playing a role. He's too busy playing a part. He's undercover. So you're not going to get that. That's why her style is so similar to Kaido's. But at the same time, she still practiced what most the persona of just samurais in general. She still practices their methods of that whole thing where when Luffy and Zoro was out, she decided to not take a bath and not eat until they wake up, as if that would help them get better, as it feels like an energy thing, take my energy in Dragon Ball Z, haha, but there was also a few others, even when she first showed up in her first scene in the whatchamacallit, whether if it was in the anime or the manga, don't really give a crap. But the scene when she showed up, she had the mask on. Look at how she's dressed, like how she dressed, how she carries herself. That's samurai. That, and this was another scene that kind of just had it kind of just leaned me for this opinion of mine on whether she saw herself as a man or a woman. What was the deal with that? It was the scene where she meets the rest of the Straw Hats after Onigashima has settled. I think this is in chapter 1000, either 52 or 53. And hi, I'm Kozuki Oden, but you can call me Yamato. Why do I need to call you Yamato when you identify as Kozuki Oden? Most people wouldn't say that. Oh, but you can call me Yamato as a nickname. No, nigga. No. That doesn't even make sense for that to be your nickname, especially if that's your birth name. That's what I mean. That doesn't make any sense. You can't say this is an LGBTQ incident or thing. It's not. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. That whole persona of her being Kozuki Oden, and her being, oh, I'm a man. Yes, she does see herself as a man, but that is only because of her obsession with Kozuki Oden. It has nothing to do with, at least this is my opinion, I think it has nothing to do with the LGBTQ thing. It doesn't. It just, I feel like it doesn't. Matter of fact, I just thought of a scenario. What do you guys think what would happen if Yamato met with Ivankov, and Ivankov pretty much was trying to give her a choice? Do you want to stay as what you are right now, or do you want me to turn you into a man? What do you think? What would she choose? Because personally, I still think she'd probably just choose, turn me into a man. But it would be for another, it wouldn't be for the reasoning of what most people would want in our world, because I feel like a man at heart, I'm a man inside. It's not going to be because of that. It's going to be because I feel like Kozuki Oden, and Kozuki Oden is a man. So in order for me to be that man, I have to change my gender to get closer to being that man. That's why. Oh man, I'm gonna get in trouble for that one. So yeah, that's my opinion. I could be wrong. I'll say that again. I could be wrong, and if I am, I'm just a dumb guy talking. So yeah, let me know what your opinions are in the comment section below. If you like this, what would you like? Maybe subscribe. I'm going to be talking about a lot more other things. A lot of things that's probably going to be tied to LGBTQ honestly, because of Marvel stuff. And what am I talking about? This isn't over. I still have to move on to the strength thing. Let's go on to the strength thing. Okay. So, how strong is Yamato? It's kind of hard to say, actually. Because the anime shows, or I should say, it goes into more in-depth things, or in a lot of her battles, they go into a lot further, like they stretch it out, so you get to see how each character fights and stuff like that, like Yamato versus Ulti. I was really surprised that they did that, even though they kind of just said, hey, we're going to do this, I was pretty surprised. But if I had to say how strong she is, I honestly wouldn't know. And it's mostly because of like the characters she's supposed to be hanging with at that time. Like, it seemed like, okay, when Yamato first showed up, and you got Luffy and invading Onigashima and stuff, and they meet. It's really weird. And it's probably mostly because of Kaido teaching her, but how do you think Kaido actually taught her? Do you think Kaido just taught her by, this is how you do 2 + 2 is 4, 4 + 4 is 8? You think he taught her like that, or do you really think he just got the belt and what's 2 + 2? Bah! Let's 4 + 4. Bah, bah, bah. What like what do you, or was it mostly just get beat? Okay. Like honestly, I honestly think that the way Yamato learned how to fight was just by watching and observing Kaido, and then like the genes that she has from Kaido helped a whole lot more. So like it was just a combination of that. There was probably a time where Kaido did decide to teach her, but once Yamato decided, hey, I want to be Kozuki Oden, that teaching stopped. That teaching stopped right there, dead in his tracks. And then you also get the scene of like, or there was a panel actually. It's going to be a scene too, and it's probably a scene already, of where she literally says, I don't know what age, but ever since she took on that persona, I'm going to say this isn't 100%, but it's kind of there. Ever since she took on that persona of being Kozuki Oda, she has had to she's been fighting Kaido because she's been trying to leave the island. Actually, no, this is probably after Ace, which I'll get on that topic as well. She's been fighting Kaido all this time, continuously, day in and day out. Now, I've talked to my friend about this, about like, oh, what do you think? It wasn't like this specific topic, but it was more of a topic of like, if Yamato left, if she succeeded and she left and came back, and if you have this Yamato that left and came back and fought Kaido, and then you have another Yamato like the one we have now, where she's just stayed here and continuously fought Kaido, trying to get there, which Yamato would be stronger, the Yamato that left and came back, or the Yamato that stayed until she actually defeated Kaido, which you all know she didn't? Which Yamato would be stronger? And I was saying Yamato that left, the one that left would be stronger versus the one that stayed. But that's besides the point. I can talk about that another time. I just thought that was interesting. Maybe y'all can talk about that later or in the comments, and I might make a video on that and tell you guys why. But anyways, Yamato, ever since she met Ace, she's been fighting Kaido continuously, and then like it's obviously she didn't win, and then like what, at like near age 8 or 7 or 6, she ate the dog wolf fruit mythical thing. How strong is Yamato? I honestly don't think she's that strong. I thought she was pretty strong in the beginning because of how they depict her, but once they start hitting, like, doing the flashbacks and stuff like that, you kind of just start to second guess yourself. It's like maybe all this strength wasn't like it doesn't. Let me say this: it doesn't really matter how strong a character is if they don't have the stamina, or if they don't have this, or if they don't have that to back themselves up. They're just a Nami, a glass cannon character. Not saying that Nami's a glass cannon character now, because they even showed some stuff in the certain chapters where she kind of isn't. But anyways, after watching and reading about Ace visiting, when we had that fight, Yamato and Ace had that fight. It's kind of hard to tell how strong Yamato is, because that actually, if anything, it gave you more of an idea of what the level Ace was actually at compared to Yamato. If anything, it put her level down because she's fighting Ace. Oh my gosh, it's just sad. It's just sad. And then, I mean, obviously you have the thing with like Kaido, like they're fighting each other one-on-one, and obviously Kaido is just outworking her, although she does have some unique techniques. I wish we got to see that fight a lot longer. It's hard to say what level she's at. I mean, what does she have? What kind of hockey does she have, guys? She has like, we know she has Conqueror's hockey. We know she has, I think she has all three, honestly. And then she also has a double fruit on top of that. And with her Conqueror's hockey, she also knows how to use it as a weapon. Definitely not at the level of like what Luffy and what Kaido's actually doing, but probably at the level of like what Zoro is doing recently. Although it's kind of up in the air of whether Zoro can just do that anytime he wants. I don't think he can. Yamato seems like, oh, I can do this anytime I want. Fuck all y'all, So it's weird. You can't put a level of like her, like what do you think her armament hockey is capable of doing, that, and it just seems like she's only able to do what pretty much the same thing that Zoro can do. She can use armament hockey on herself, and she can apply it to pretty much any object. So imbuement hockey and just hardening. Observation hockey, we don't even get to see it. It never showed her to be able to use future sight or any of those advanced techniques. So it's definitely not as good as Luffy. Probably not even as good as Zoro's, honestly. And Sanji's already he's like the second best observation hockey user on the team. Now that it seems like Yamato is joining, what number, or like where do I put her, below or under? I'll say this: if these characters were to fight Yamato one-on-one, Luffy would win, Sanji would win. I'm sorry, Sanji would win, Zoro would win, Jinbei would win, but that's it. And the thing is, I'm not even that sure about like the last three, Zoro, Sanji, or Jinbei, but I feel like they still could pull off a win. Like, it's close. It's a close battle, but I still feel like they can pull off a win. But if it's Luffy, he's obviously just going, it's a landslide. It's a landslide. But yeah, I just don't think Yamato has, she has too much little experience. You have all of these people that have fought multiple people So they're going to be able to honestly have a better. They have more experience. They fought more people that move in completely different ways. It's Yamato has only fought who? The grunts, maybe the flying six, maybe which that's questionable. Maybe king and queen and who else? What's Jack? Maybe, and then Kaido, which that's just headcanon in my head. The only person we know for a fact that she's fought continuously is Kaido. If you fight the same exact person continuously, at some point your growth will start to diminish. You will not learn as much fighting that same person. The only thing you're going to learn is that person's move. That's why she can mirror majority of Kaido's moves in the first place. That's the whole reason why her style is that way. Even without Kaido probably teaching her, like a teacher, that's just the way it is. When I know my friends are gonna get mad at this because this is literally the same discussion. This is the same discussion I had with, like, what if Yamato ended up leaving and coming back after having a whole journey around the world fighting these different people and blah 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 blah, and she came back and she fought the Yamato that's just been fighting Kaido continuously. This Yamato, which Yamato would win? I feel like it doesn't even matter how strong Kaido is. I feel like the Yamato that we got that's coming out and finally coming back to beat Kaido or beat whoever, that Yamato is going to slap the shit out of the Yamato that stayed and probably have a lot better of a chance winning against Kaido. Honestly, that would probably happen. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I'll probably do some more videos like this talking about certain characters and probably more topics, more strong argument topics about, what this character is, what this character is doing and stuff like that. There's probably a few things that I missed that I probably wanted to say about Yamato, but I got the bottom line of what I wanted to get out and I explained why. So I'm happy with this. So subscribe for more. Put down some comments, put down some suggestions on what other characters and arguments that you would want me to talk about or discuss. And yeah, subscribe if you like it as well. Like it, dislike it, I don't care. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. All right.